Hello, this is Harold Hafton, and welcome to the Minecraft Archaeology Challenge miniseries. I'm a former archaeologist who enjoys playing Minecraft, and in this miniseries, I've been kidnapped by Daskalos, who's a working archaeologist who created a custom archaeological site that I need to excavate. Now, here's the challenge part. It wasn't just me he grabbed. This challenge is also being done by YouTubers MC Oda and MillyCraft, who are also independently excavating their own copies of the site. Once we're all done excavating and recreating our sites, we'll be walking Daskalos through our site interpretation where we'll be graded. In the last episode, I excavated all the dirt and gravel from the site and uncovered a bunch of artifacts, as well as a bunch of charcoal that points to a destruction layer of some sort. In this episode, I'm going to remove all the bulks, so that's those lines of dirt where all my grid lines are, and continue excavating each building where I'll do my site recreation. I'm going to try and be as methodical and true to archaeological practices as I can, or at least as much as I can within Minecraft, so let's see how this goes. And so in this recreation, I'm going to try and let what the site tells me the buildings look like dictate what I build them as opposed to making them pretty Minecraft buildings. Well, with all that out of the way, let me jump into a quick time lapse so you can watch me remove all the bulks, and then we can start our next phase of excavation and then recreation. Okay, so as you saw, I went around here, and anytime there was this, packed mud on the outside, I basically picked it up and I put it on the wall structure, keeping the format that it seemed like was there. So let's assume for a moment that this was wattle and daub, and that's kind of what this, packed mud, or maybe it was just straight up packed mud walls. So it looks like this is two structures, but this is interesting. So within these structures, you can see, potentially these are doorways in here, right? Potentially, right? You'd come in the central area, and then there would be doorway areas to be able to navigate within. But you can see each of these little areas now that I've removed the packed mud. This has a loom. This has, let's see, this didn't seem to have anything but charcoal in it, so not sure what this would have been for. There is wood right here, so maybe there's a wooden beam that ran across that then fell, collapsed, and then didn't burn. There's a barrel, nothing in the barrel though, unfortunately. And then there is this area here, so this is bamboo. So potentially bamboo fell from the ceiling. Let me actually dig this out here real quick. Let's see. Yeah, there's nothing there. Okay, so let me move that out of my, and then where was, oh yeah, there's a smoker here, so nothing in the smoker. So yeah, so we got a barrel, we have a loom, we have some oak, so maybe an oak beam, and then thatch roof. So yeah, so I think based on this, I think I'm going to use bamboo for the roof, not hay barrel or hay bale. So yeah, so I think we're starting to see this shape up. So here's what I did here on this reconstruction. It's not, it looks like an ugly reconstruction, if I do say so myself, but I tried to stay true to what I was seeing archaeologically. And so bamboo roof, because I found that bamboo in there, and then found the oak logs think I found it like right here or so, right? And so, actually, it would be right here. And so what I did is I followed where the oak logs were, as I talked about, in conjunction with where I was seeing a lot of the charcoal, assuming that the charcoal came from this roof or these log structures burning. And so that's how I ended up with this little design here. So some cross beams coming across. I also tried to keep all of the packed mud, and so I need to maybe fill some of this in a little bit. But I tried to keep all this packed mud so that I was using all of it that I had in my inventory. So yeah, and that's pretty close to what I had, because I placed about 9 right there, and I had 9 in my inventory. Not sure what's going on here. I had a similar thing here. Maybe I'll put this here as well, but I'm not sure why there'd be 2 logs sticking out right there. But yeah, it's a little bit of a weird design. So we've rebuilt a couple of these, and I'll go through and actually walk through those in just a minute. But I wanted to pause here in the middle of the time lapse to kind of talk about this a little bit. I'm a little confused by this, to be perfectly honest. Not really sure what direction I want to go. So it was clear from, let's see, let me flip over to first person so I can point with my guy. Yeah, it was clear that this wall had kind of tipped over. Same thing here. We got some tippage, right? You could even see some of the remnants in the grass where that wall had collapsed. And then similarly, so it looks like maybe there's a 3-high wall. So it looks like at least the back of the structure is a little high. And then started going around here. I righted these columns around what I think is the fountain. So I put that in place. Righted the walls that look like they had tumbled into what looks like this little courtyard area where there's a little what is this? The craftsman area. And then you can see that maybe there was a beam. That's kind of how I've been interpreting some of this stuff, is there's maybe beams that are running across in some of these areas. So I would imagine this one over here is charcoal as well. But here's my little mystery is, so we have what looks like this stairs stuff. So maybe that's roof, or maybe that's, a peaked roof potentially coming over here. That's quite possible. But the peak looks like it's going the wrong direction here, right? So this would be peaked facing this way, right? Not facing this way. So I interpreted this, and actually maybe I'll just quick remove. Yeah, so that's some sus. So my guess is this is going to be an iron. That's how I had interpreted it over in this building. Let me pop over here. Is there was some iron in the corner with this same kind of setup, so I interpreted that as a chimney, right, of some sort. So I think I'm going to do the same thing here, assuming this is iron. But here's the bit that confuses me. So there's these stairs coming up. So I first thought maybe there was some decorative stairs running. Maybe this comes up a couple more blocks, right, from this point that I'm jumping up and down, right, to match this. And then this was a little eave, right, that was going across. But then, this is how I've been interpreting the walls, right? This area here. So that you would need the stairs to hit this. But then this thing that I'm not understanding is now you're dropping a whole nother level. Clearly, this is the floor level. At least that's what I'm interpreting it as right now. And so I'm confused by why there wouldn't be stairs coming down the other section, and I'm not seeing any. Okay, so let's talk about this here. I've been calling this up to this point a fountain, and you can clearly see I went a little different direction, the opposite of a fountain. In fact, there's fire there. Fountains typically don't have fire. But I think actually, as I was second thinking about that, and the fact that the what I was calling a fountain had, you know, a single charcoal in the middle, maybe I figured out maybe it was be an altar. So I mocked this up, although I don't really think that this is accurate. So let me just walk through it here, and I'll talk about the little modifications I'm going to make here. So around the outside of the fountain altar thing, there was mud brick pillars, right, on these foundation blocks, and all of them were too high, with the exception of this one over here, where there was two that were together and then one that was kind of off to the side. So this one appears to be 3 high. So I'm not sure why this one would be 3 and the others would be 2, but I reconstructed it because that's what I saw in the archaeological record. As far as this, what I did here in the middle, so there were none of these mud brick walls when I took out the mud brick on the inside. However, let me flip up on screen here of a screenshot I took beforehand, and so hopefully you're seeing that now. And so you can see how there was stairs mixed with mud brick slabs and mud brick blocks that seem to, if you kind of look at the mud brick stairs and the blocks, it looks like, you know, if you kind of imagine that they would rotate up, that wall would collapse in and maybe make that stair shape. So you can see how the stair always matches up to the full wall block, and then there's the slabs on either side of it. Now, I don't know that I have these slabs in the right place. So then it would be open in the inside. So imagine that this is kind of the pillar structure, right? This would collapse, maybe make the stairs. In fact, I think that maybe these wouldn't be the stairs. And I know we clearly collected stairs, and you can see stairs, but I actually suspect that what the stairs are the sideways of these. So let me change this here, change that there, and then that, and let me flip over into creative again so that I can grab another one of these. And I actually think that this may be the more accurate interpretation. Now, the other thing I think is a little bit of a mystery here is you can see the shape. It's coming in like this and then come around, but I don't know why this is missing. Clearly, you know, I'm seeing brick below here. So, you know, and actually let me remove. Yeah, okay, so interesting. So I wonder if this whole thing was on top of these. Yeah, I think that's what we're supposed to do here. So this whole thing isn't this shape. This whole thing rested, I think, on top of these pillars. Okay, so I rebuilt this by, you know, you saw me take out this these stairs, and I took all those out, and clearly there was consistent flooring underneath. So, oh, messed that up. So actually, I think this was raised and then collapsed inward. So, you know, I would think that this would have been here. This would have been maybe matching with that. This would have come against this, and this would have come against that. But that's, I literally just took it from what was below here and then raised it up as if that collapsed inward. Now you can see, and that matched up with where I was putting these stairs and slabs and whatnot. I'm wondering if these slabs shouldn't be going here on the inside, and that if this shouldn't all expand outward. Yeah, this may be just how this gets interpreted, which is, I don't know, just doesn't, I don't like that these pillars aren't even. Maybe that's just me, but I think this maybe is how I'll leave it. So I finished with all these structures now, with the exception of this big boy behind me here. So what I've been calling the House of Black and White. Not really sure, as I've been saying this is a house or not. But I'm going to get started working on this. I'll do this in a time lapse. But just one thing to note here. I think once I'm all finished, I'm going to go through, chat about what I think each of these structures are. But then I think I'm not really sure I like the looks of a lot of these. I mean, they're kind of rough, right? I've tried to follow the actual archaeology that I saw to guide what these things look like. But from a Minecraft build perspective, they're rough. Like I don't know that I love these buildings so much. I do think that I'm maybe going to go back just to make them look a little more Minecrafty and a little bit better. Yeah, because I'm not, like that roof behind me, not sure I like this roof at all. This is really, I mean, it looks like a Minecraft build from, I don't know, 2013 maybe. So yeah, I'm gonna continue on with my work. Gonna do the House of Black and White, and then go through, do all the chats, and then yeah, maybe make it look nice in Minecraft. Okay, let's get on with it. Okay, so I think I fixed the roof. Here, let me hop over here. You can see I did do 2 different layers. So when I counted up the tallest wall segment, so this right here was the tallest wall segment in back, so it was 5 tall. Everything else looked like it could be the same. Windows were there, but this was 5 tall, and then the walls were crumbled down around it. And then there was a wall segment within the temple here that was 4 tall, 1, 2, 3, and then this 4th one was a diorite slab, or a polished diorite slabs, 2 of them. So this one was kind of 4 tall. So that's kind of how I judged the height here. And then if you see, what I did is I looked closer at the screenshots I took, and while the top layer here was this black diorite, not diorite, this black deep slate tile, below all of it in the layers were all of these polished diorite, and then diorite slabs, and sometimes stairs. And so what I interpreted that as is that the inside, so the ceiling was this diorite, and then above it was the roof tiles. So that's how I interpreted that. And then it seemed like this was one lower in this section here. And so that's why I went with this 2-tiered. And actually, I think I like this little white strip here. Although, generally speaking, it's all very samey, right? What I mean by that is like there's no overhang. It's very clean line. Normally you get kind of, at least with Greek temples, you get this like triangle up atop, which is nice. But this is very flat, I guess is my point. So from just a Minecraft eye, it looks to my eye not so great. But, there isn't anything to say that the temple has to look great. Maybe it looked awesome to these people, whoever they were. So I've updated the maps, and you can see this was as I was doing the grids, and then I took another one here. This is before I excavated out and reconstructed the whole site, and then and I was just calling them houses, but I wasn't really sure what the structure was. Some of them, like the market and the terracotta shop, I was pretty sure that I knew what they were. And then this is the latest map here. Let's see. Let's fly in here. I'll walk Daskalos through this at some length, and I'll show you that. But just to fly over here real quick. Here's the residences. Here's the weavers area, and then the smokers area. So you see the smoker and then the weavers. So some of this I was maybe planning on going back through and kind of decorating this up to look maybe more pretty in Minecraft, but I thought that maybe it would be better just to stick to what I'm seeing archaeologically. So sometimes when you're reconstructing archaeology, you just don't have all the answers. So this is a perfect example here. I'm not really sure what the roof looked like, so that's a guess. I'm not sure if this is 2 specific structures or 1. But given that there was charcoal that ran through this area and was found in a line, that indicated to me that since this line matched up between the 2 structures, that it was maybe there was a central beam that ran through. And I'll walk, like I said, maybe this will be a repeat for you. I'll walk Daskalos through my methodology here as well and thinking through this. But that's why I reconstructed it like this, as if it was one building that was kind of interconnected in this complex. This is the market. Chickens laying eggs here, but I put the ropes up so that the chickens wouldn't run away. So I stuck true to what was being sold in each area. This one was a little different. So I was originally thinking this was maybe a mason area, and I did put some stones there. There was a single one of these stone slabs found. I believe it was right here. And so I just kind of piled up some stone slabs here. But it occurred to me that maybe the stone slab might be representative of a grindstone. So that's why I put a grindstone there. Yeah, some pottery, because there were some potsherds around here. And then obviously some foodstuffs. I wasn't sure what was in here, so I just left it just as a guess, right? Even when you're doing an excavation, you don't necessarily know all the answers. I interpreted this as a little candle shop based on the string and the candle dies. A little terracotta shop here. And also just some, maybe some quartz pillars. So yeah, so this didn't really change from before. I put a little wagon out there because this looked like it was a warehouse, so I thought a wagon might be helpful. Left a lot of this blank. There's some charcoal here and some charcoal here, and a fireplace there with some iron. So I put, some grates around that. All of this was charcoal, so that's why I put the wood there. Yeah, so this was what I called the forge, just because, it had coal, charcoal. There was the stairs kind of piled up here, so I interpreted that as maybe a second story. Now, I just took that second story up to a roof line, but it's possible maybe there was actually a second story on top, although I didn't interpret it like that because I didn't see additional higher walls, nor did I see the quantity of material of mud brick or packed mud in this area that would then lead me to believe there was more flooring above there, right? Higher stories. But yeah, so this I interpreted that because of the anvil and the blast furnace. So I called that the forge. This was an altar. I was originally, I think earlier in episodes, calling this a fountain. Couple things that I just don't understand about this settlement, right? Where are they getting their water from? I mean, I know that there's a sea over there, and I know that there's a sea over there. I don't know if that's fresh water or not, but I'm not seeing any fountains. I'm not seeing any wells. And for a settlement of this size, I would expect there to be some sort of water source. So I'd be curious where they're getting their water from. So that's why I originally thought this was that. But I did see charcoal here, and so I interpreted this as an altar, which this was all on the ground, and so I raised this up. And this is what I called the House of the Scholar, if I remember correctly, and that's really, there are these picture pods and torch flowers, which you can only see in the temple gardens over there. You can see maybe one of them, a couple of them peeking out there. This was full of books and full of lecterns and a little fireplace with charcoal, so a little fire to read by. Not really sure what this is. Maybe this was a covering, maybe I should have should actually extend this up. But I'm also not seeing any additional items there, so really not sure what these are. So kind of left it as is. Cartography table that was found there. Again, more wood. This was charcoal originally. Okay, so the Temple of Black and White. So this, I believe it was this one specifically, had been knocked down and was laying out over here. So that had fallen to what is the south. And so I was able to judge the height of these based on that one column. I'm assuming that it just wasn't that one column was high and the rest of them were short, so I evened them out. Looks a little different than what you maybe would see from like a Greek or Roman style, where, you know, the pillars would be, you know, as tall as, you know, the roof, and then there would be a triangle-shaped roof right up here and all that. But, you know, I don't know what the temples of this culture look like, so I was just following what I thought the archaeology was telling me, not what my preconceived notions look like. And then found some pottery sherds, found some books, more pottery. I replicated the sherds into pots that I found. This door wasn't here, but I did put it in because this door was in this room. So you see this leads back out. This looked like it was lower based on the height of the walls, so that's why I put it down there. I duplicated this door type over, so this door was still there. So, you know, you'd probably want to get some dendrochronology or radiocarbon date that. But because this was the door style here, I duplicated it up over here. All of this mosaic tile on the roof was all scattered on the floor. So I tried to reconstruct what I thought it looked like based on what was in the floor and some clues about what was where and what maybe made sense. So yeah, I'm not sure I got this exactly of every single piece right, but I don't know, I think it looks pretty decent. Kind of like a sun surrounded by a sky and then surrounded by the earth, you know, maybe ties into the theme of what cartography, which was found in the Temple of the Scholar out back here as well as here. So, and then, oh, shut the door on myself. There was coal laying around this room, so that's why I put little buckets of coal. There was a single charcoal here, so that maybe there was some, you know, I don't know, someone sacrificing something here. This room here was just kind of blank, so maybe a little foyer leading into here. Now this little tree, I kind of interpreted it as a sacred tree potentially. Before all of this started, if you remembered, there was some of these trees growing on the top of the hill, top of the little tell in this area. And then when I excavated down, there was dirt here on that ground floor. And so I thought, well, maybe they had a tree here. You know, it's right outside where this window would be, so it'd have natural light. And then maybe the garden was populated with this special kind of tree that's not native to this area. So that's kind of what my interpretation led me here. A little porch area to look out over on the garden. I kind of, again, followed what the ceiling and roof looked like. This area here, I interpreted as kind of as a holy of holies, or holy sanctuary area. There wasn't this trapdoors. I'm just putting the trapdoors there because it seemed odd that this holy area would just be open, and I didn't see where any doors would be, so that's why I put these banners here. But that's just kind of my decoration. This was laying here on the ground, so that's why I maybe interpreted this as a tower, or a pillar rather, not a tower, that had fallen over, and what I'm interpreting as an earthquake. There was this brewer stand and a little chest that was here. So yeah, so that's, and then hopping out the window, here is the little garden. There were these plants just kind of laying around in these kind of areas, so that's why I interpreted that. The walls were here, so and it's kind of right outside where the altar would be. So maybe these are kind of placed on the altar or what? Not quite sure. But yeah, so that's my little interpretation. So I'll walk Daskalos through it in some length. Tell him why I interpreted different things different ways. But that's yeah, that's essentially the long and short of it. Well, I hope you like watching me finish up the excavation and doing my recreation. Now that you've watched me do that recreation and listened to me chat through my thoughts on each structure, feel free to put comments in the chat about what you think they are and what their purposes were, and what you think I missed or maybe got wrong. In the next episode, I'm going to walk Daskalos through my site so that he can do all the grading, and then we'll close out the series the following episode after that by visiting Daskalos' version, hearing the real site interpretation, and seeing how I did. Thanks, have a great rest of your day, see you in the next episode, bye!